Today on Football's Play to Win, the Falcons host the Seahawks in the NFL playoffs. Can Matty Ice and crew bring home a victory, or is it going to be an early exit for the Falcons? And Clemson claims college football's national championship. Now, can we say that the ACC is the best conference in the land? Stay with us. You're watching Football's Play to Win, the fastest 30 minutes in sports.
Today's show is being brought to you by SD Services, Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and the Orlando Law Firm. Welcome to Football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Fantasy Football League Master Adam Brown, Game Analysis with Nikki Williams, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Ed Schechter, Medical and Injury Update with Dr. Andrew Lalagi, and your host, Atlanta sports legend, Bob Neal. Today's SEC College Report is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers. Choose Nissan.com.
And welcome to the show, Jeffrey, Nikki, Bob, and we're joined by Jesse Tuggle. Good to see you.
Good to be here, Bob.
Good to be back again with us. We always enjoy having you here, particularly having two football players at the same time, former Falcons, two greats on the show. And I was getting to that. I was going to headline that.
Backbone of the show.
The very backbone of the team in the day. That's what I hear from the boys. And then, of course, there's Jeffrey and me, and we don't provide anything except insight into the game. Let's get started with the national championship game and what our man Bob Whitfield thinks about it. What was your reaction to that game and the Clemson win?
Well, too much was probably played into the coaching of that game. You know, Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And what you had was with Nick Saban in Alabama, you had Sarkisian come in and put together a drunken attack with the quarterback. Yes, he's a freshman quarterback, but this is a national championship game. That offense was so horrible and suspect, throwing those little 2-yard routes, Bob. That was the worst offensive game plan. If Lane Kiffin left on that, he should have came back and put something in and let Alabama ride to victory, because it was horrible coaching by Alabama.
Whoa.
Hold on a minute,
That's
though.
what I like that, man.
Nick Saban with Alabama is 97-0 in going into a fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. So it was very out of.
Do you see though that game plan, the passing routes?
I did, but you can't say that Nick Saban is a poor coach.
What?
Dabo's just better.
We're off to the roaring start. Jesse, you see we've developed a real love fest here.
I see for sure.
On the show. So.
But I have to agree with both, because, Bob, I'll tell you right now, you're right. I think the game plan was really not that good at all. And, Nikki, you bring up a good point. You know, Coach Saban had been there a few times before, and he knows what it takes to win, and he's well established. He knows how to play in the national championship game. But the game plan itself could have been so much better.
Yeah, a better fact that you always talk when you have an ACC and an SEC team playing is, does the winner mean that his conference is best? And so I'm going to go to Jeffrey with this question here. Is the ACC on top as college football's best conference?
Well, the Clemson won or lost, the ACC is the best conference. You have now the champ, you get Florida State, Louisville, and then even the middle of the conference, Miami, Virginia Tech. It's the best conference in the country. And then the Big 12 is coming on with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Look out for them next year.
ACC best conference in your view?
Phooey.
Does that mean no?
No. Pac-12 all the way. Pac-12.
No bias.
Okay, his phooey wraps our SEC report.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, where every jackpot is a good jackpot.
So, look at the college football title odds for 2017-18. Alabama, Florida State, Clemson, Ohio State, USC, Clemson, and Georgia. Georgia down at the bottom at 40-1. So my question is, are those odds right? Alabama 2-1.
They always give Alabama that. Nikki
Always.
knows it. Jesse knows it.
Always.
Alabama always get a early in. Georgia gets this early in, and Georgia always proves to be nothing. USC always holds steady. I mean, come on.
You know what? I think all the conferences are represented. You look at the Big Ten. You know, you got Ohio State there,
And Michigan.
And Michigan there.
They're always throwing
no,
Michigan.
No doubt about that. And then, like Jeffrey said earlier, you can't overlook the Big 12 either. You got Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. And then now when you look at the SEC, Alabama's going to be there, Georgia's going to be there, LSU going to be there. So who are the favorites? But you don't talk about the champions though. Clemson's the ACC.
Right. Yeah.
They got them down below below the top 10. But overall, Coach Dabo is such a great recruiter.
Yeah.
That team is going to be strong each and every year.
Yeah, absolutely. And the definitive word comes from Jeffrey. ACC best?
I really don't look at this stuff till August, but, for show's sake, Bama's a factory. But my team to look out for next year, Oklahoma.
All right, we're going to come back and talk Oklahoma. Just remember that. I wrote it down in ink, by the way. We're going to come back in just a moment with the NFL, and the question will be, is the best defense the best offense? Stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
More people than ever are choosing Nissan, making us North America's fastest growing auto brand in 2016. Take on 2017 and get the safety you'd expect, the fuel efficiency you need, and America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take On 2017 event for 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models, or save up to $10,000 on select models.
Why can't I have a slice of yours?
You're a cartoon. You can only have cartoon pizza.
It's not fair.
Look, this pie is 100% real, and you're colored ink. It's physics, man.
Well, can you buy me a beer?
I can buy you a cartoon beer. Are you single?
It's surprise.
Everyone wants real mellow mushroom pizza because our pies use premium meats and cheeses, fresh veggies, and spring water dough baked with wheat goodness. Mellow mushroom, a higher order of pizza.
You could win your money fast. Print, play, win. Woo! Print, play, win. Yay! Print, play, win. Woo! Print, play, win. Yay!
A faster way to win has just arrived. Introducing Print and Play, the newest games from the Georgia Lottery. Just ask your clerk for a Print and Play game, play it, and you could win your money faster than ever.
Print, play, win. Yay! Print and play, and you could win.
Win faster with the all-new Print and Play games from the Georgia Lottery.
What does a steak lover eat when they're not eating steak? How about this, or this, or this? Okay, that last one was steak, but how could they not? You can't fake steak. Longhorn Steakhouse. Tonight's special Longhorn favorites. Get our outlaw ribeye, the Longhorn salmon, or the Parmesan crusted chicken. And for lunch, try our steakhouse burger or any steakhouse lunch combo only at Longhorn.
Today's NFL Report is being brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Always the best deal, always.
All right, let's talk NFL playoffs, and I'll start with the AFC, Jesse.
I tell you what, a good game to watch is Kansas City and Pittsburgh. That's going to be a real good game. They got a lot of speed in that game, and Tyreek Hill, who's an extremely special talent on special teams, and also you got Bell for the Steelers.
Yeah.
But the game that everybody will keep their eye on is the Patriots and Houston, because you got Brady, who the #1 quarterback in the NFL, versus the #1 defense in the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the Packers and the Cowboys too, Jeffrey. What do you think?
The key to the game is keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. Run the ball, short passes, have like 7-minute possessions, because Rodgers is a beast. Keep him off the field.
All right, and Dan Quinn and Pete Carroll have seen this whole thing before, as you'll hear right now.
Great challenges for us to get ready. We know the ball hawks they have as well. So big emphasis for us from last week heading into this week has been our fundamentals.
This is one that's a really interesting preparation, obviously, because we know a lot about these guys and they know a lot about us. So it's a real battle for the coaches all week long to putting together the plans and trying to figure out the best stuff to do, and they're doing exactly the same.
All right, Bob, they played in week 6. What's the difference in now and then?
Well, good thing is you can forget about what happened then. Falcons lost in Seattle. This game is at home for the Falcons.
Right.
But what you have in that Week 6 matchup is, Bob, the Falcons started that game very slowly, and all the Falcons fans watched the Falcons give up a couple sacks early, and they saw Matty Ryan throw the ball erratically, and Julio Jones dropped some key passes in that game. And what they saw with this new Seattle team in that first playoff game was a good running attack that really put 150 yards rushing. So the Seattle team has improved, and the Falcons really going to have to work hard to not be that team that they were in Week 6.
Okay, let's look at a full screen example here. There's the Falcons offense and the Seahawks defense, and my question, Jesse, is how do the Falcons exploit this Seattle D?
I think the biggest thing they got to do, the Falcons offense got to go out there and run the football. And they got two good running backs who can do that without a problem. You got Coleman and Freeman who can push the ball up and down the field. Offensive line, Bob, you know better than I do, they got to protect Matt Ryan. You protect Matt, you're going to go out there and let I think the MVP have his best game.
All right, how did the Falcons D stop Seattle?
I don't know if they can stop Seattle, Bob. Maybe can they just contain Seattle? Because what they tried to do the last time and rattle Seattle in the fourth quarter, you saw a very good quarterback from Seattle keep his composure and do some things on that fourth quarter and bring Seattle back to win that game. So I think they can contain them enough, and Matty Ice can do his thing.
All right, they've played before, Nikki.
Yeah, everyone's talking about 6 weeks ago. I'm looking at this more or less as a 2012 divisional round playoff rematch. Do you guys remember that, when the Seahawks made one of the most impressive comebacks in NFL playoff history, only to lose it to the Falcons? Here we are again, 4 years and 1 day later. Same franchise, same location, same quarterback, same round, and many of the same players, and some hurt feelings, I'm thinking. Still, it stings a little.
Some hurt feelings. Do you ever think about it before
You know
a game?
what doesn't hurt my feelings is bolo tie.
By the way, the
This
bolo
is for
tie.
Texas.
Is there a chance to get a shot of this ball?
Look,
There you go.
This is for Texas.
All right.
Before I was a
Take a
Falcon,
look at that as I tell you.
I was a Cowboy fan. Before
We'll
I was a Falcon, I
have
was
the
a Cowboy
keys to the
fan.
game when we come back. Stay with us on Play to Win.
It's Landmark Morrow's Upside Down Tent Event. If you owe more for your car than it's worth, this sale's for you. Don't waste another payment on a car you hate. Trade up and take your pick among 1,200 special event deals. Hurry to the Upside Down Tent Event, only at Landmark Morrow, the Southeast's #1 dealer. We have the most, we sell the most, so you save the most.
Now that's our giant advantage, and why nobody beats Landmark. Nobody.
Always the best deal, always.
A Start Something New sales event.
Wake up on the first day of winter and find out your heater is not working? We can fix that. I'm Brian Estes. Turn to the experts at Estes and Carrier. We'll make sure your system is running at peak efficiency with our winter inspection. Don't wait till it's too late. Go to estesair.com today.
More people than ever are choosing Nissan, making us North America's fastest growing auto brand in 2016. Take on 2017 and get the safety you'd expect, the fuel efficiency you need, and America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take On 2017 event for 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models, or save up to $10,000 on select models.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured in an accident, don't drop the ball by letting the insurance company run all over you. I worked as an insurance lawyer for 10 years, and I know their tactics and game plan. I'm Roger Orlando of the Orlando firm. Let our 30 years of experience tackle the insurance company for you. Our team will get you every dollar you deserve. So put the ball in our hands and we'll get your case across the goal line. Find us online at atlanta.law or call 678-LAW-FIRM.
Is your heater blowing cold air? I'm Tommy Estes. Turn to the experts at Estes and Carrier. We've been installing and repairing heating systems in Atlanta since 1949. The best time to schedule that annual tune-up is now. So go to estesair.com today.
This week's Keys to Success is brought to you by Volvo Cars of Marietta, where you can always expect the best.
Welcome back, and let's start with our Volvo Keys to Success and Jesse Tuggle. And Jesse, I want to look at that Falcons D and what their key will be in this game.
The key is to stop Russell Wilson. That's the biggest thing. You can't let him outside the pocket. You know, he's really big and he's effective. He's really effective when he's running the play action pass, trying to get the ball to Jimmy Graham. So if they can stop Russell, stop the run, stop Jimmy, and then they got a chance to be successful.
Okay, Bob, let's flip it over to the Falcons' offensive side. What's the key there?
Well, the offense is going to be their best defense, and they got to stay on the field a long time, and they got to make that Seattle defense very tired. And they got to run the ball with two key running backs, Devontae Freeman and the other guy, I always forget his name. And that passing attack with Julio Jones, who can't drop the ball, and Taylor Gabriel, number 18. I love that receiver in the slot. with all that slashing and you losing the offensive coordinator going to Denver to be the head coach, the Falcons better make the most of this playoff opportunity.
Man, I love that. This guy could run for office. You got it all in.
Remember names.
Quick time, which is the name of the game in sports television. All right, and that is our Volvo Keys to Success.
Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
The question is, are the Falcons ready for their prime time in the sun? We decided to ask Carlos Medina of our friends at 680 The Fan.
The Atlanta Falcons are favored to beat the Seattle Seahawks in the Georgia Dome and move on to the NFC Championship game. And that makes sense because the Falcons feature the best offense in all of football. As for Seattle, well, their inconsistency has started with their offensive line that currently has the fewest amount of cap dollars allocated to it across the entire NFL. Here's the important thing about Seattle. They have depended for the last 4 years on a strong running game. That allows them to control tempo and control clock in the game. The Atlanta Falcons, they want to be able to stop that Seattle Seahawks run, in part because it takes Seattle out of their game. Seattle's defense is great. We all know it's great. But the important factor is this. Seattle's defense has played the fewest amount of snaps in the NFL over the last 4 seasons. Why is that? Well, they can depend on an offense that tends to eat up a lot of clock. So if the Atlanta Falcons want to take Seattle immediately out of their game and make this an easy victory, it's about stopping that run as quickly as possible. If the Falcons can do so, I think they run away with this football game. If not, things get a little bit hairy for Seattle and Atlanta. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Carlos, thank you very much. Sorry you're not with us because we've got pizza. Pass that down.
Yeah.
Pass that one down. And you and I will open this one up. What do you think? Oh, man. That's,
that looks good.
I'll let you have the first bite of this. It's our friends at Mellow Mushroom, of course, and we love it when it's Mellow Mushroom Day and we get our pizzas. While we take this break, we'll be chomping some down. Then you can get some later this afternoon. Mellow Mushroom. Pick up the phone. We'll be right back.
Do you suffer from irritability, boredom, and chronic cravings? Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails are clinically proven to improve your mood and leave you with a full belly. Mellow Mushroom is fast-acting, giving you relief when you need it the most. Side effects of Mellow Mushroom may include salivation, euphoria, and an insatiable craving for more Mellow Mushroom. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. She may want to come with you.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Lease the all-new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month at Volvo Cars of Marietta.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Today's Fantasy Report is being brought to you by SD Services, serving all of Atlanta since 1949.
Well, this is the time of year where we talk about rankings, not only rankings of team, but rankings of the recruiting.
Right.
And the Georgia Bulldogs are doing pretty well nationally.
Georgia and Georgia Tech, we're going to focus on them today. Georgia has 18 ESPN 300 players committed so far, 6 early enrollees, and we already have 17 firm commitments for the Dogs. They're focusing mainly on the offensive line to help out Jacob Eason and those running backs coming back. Georgia is getting bigger, stronger, and faster with 3 guys I want to tell you about offensive line. Isaiah Wilson, the kid from Brooklyn, New York, he's 6'7", 355. Andrew Thomas from Pace Academy, who I had the good fortune of coaching in baseball at Pace Academy. Wonderful kid. He's 6'5", 335. And finally, Notori Johnson from Cedar Grove, who's 6'4", 350. Those three guys, Georgia's getting bigger up front. With Ben Cleveland, who was redshirted, Georgia's looking really good up front for this fall, for the coming year. They're number 2 in the recruiting classes so far. Look for them maybe to get to number 1 if they can steal a couple guys from Alabama.
All right, Georgia Tech doing okay?
Georgia Tech's doing okay, but they have two kids with unbelievable bloodlines. Pat Swilling's kids. Remember Pat Swilling, the New Orleans Saint? Georgia Tech great? Pat Swilling's kids, Bruce, Jordan Swilling, and Trey Swilling, both were two-way players. I had the good fortune of speaking with Pat Swilling when I was down in New Orleans for the Monday night game, and he told me that he wanted both of his sons to play defense, cornerback and safety in college. That's where they're going is Georgia Tech. They're top 400 kids in the country. Look for them to add depth at the defensive back position for Georgia Tech. And also Georgia Tech recruited 2 specialists, a punter and a kicker. And the kicker supposedly is one of the best 5 kickers in the country. So look for them to have someone to take the place of Harrison Butker when he leaves.
Oh, that's good news. Something usually we don't talk about is the kicker, but the kicker becomes very important when the
third of the game.
You bet. So that's good news for Georgia Tech. This guy knows what's going on all the time, and that's what it looks like in the recruiting world for the colleges. We'll be back with Dr. A in just a moment as we continue with football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery and Longhorn Steakhouse.
Wake up on the first day of winter and find out your heater doesn't work? We can fix that. I'm Tommy Estes. Turn to the experts at Estes and Carrier. We'll make sure your system is running at peak efficiency with our winter safety inspection. Don't wait till it's too late. Go to estesair.com today.
It's Landmark Morrow's Upside Down Tent Event. If you owe more for your car than it's worth, this sale's for you. Don't waste another payment on a car you hate. Trade up and take your pick among 1,200 special event deals. Hurry to the Upside Down Tent Event, only at Landmark Morrow, the Southeast's #1 dealer. We have the most, we sell the most, so you save the most.
Now that's our giant advantage, and why nobody beats Landmark. Nobody.
A Start Something New sales event.
You could win your money fast. Print, play, win. Woo. Print, play, win. Yay. Print, play, win. Woo. Print, play, win. Yay.
A faster way to win has just arrived. Introducing Print and Play, the newest games from the Georgia Lottery. Just ask your clerk for a Print and Play game, play it, and you could win your money faster than ever.
Print, play, win. Yay. Print and play, and you could win.
Win faster with the all-new Print and Play games from the Georgia Lottery.
Is your heater blowing cold air? We can fix that. I'm Brian Estes. Turn to the experts at Estes and Carrier. We've been installing and repairing heating systems in Atlanta since 1949. The best time to schedule that annual tune-up is now, so go to estesair.com today.
More people than ever are choosing Nissan, making us North America's fastest growing auto brand in 2016. Take on 2017 and get the safety you'd expect, the fuel efficiency you need, and America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take On 2017 event for 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models, or save up to $10,000 on select models.
Today's player injury and medical report is being brought to you by the Orlando Law Firm. Put a former insurance lawyer in your corner.
Time for the player medical report. Now that means Dr. A. And I see on your list of players here Jordy Nelson to lead off.
Yeah, you know, it's a bad sign when Jordy Nelson, they don't report on Monday if he's had a fracture or not. And so always, he has multiple rib fractures. Wow. The problem with it is that if he plays in the game, he can get displaced, the fractures can get displaced, and if you look at his injury risk, it's 47%, and his health performance factor is also right around 40%. So if he plays, it's significantly going to impact him.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Julio Jones, everyone's been talking about his turf toe. He's optimally recovered this week, so he is actually going to slip into peak health and low injury risk. So Julio Jones should be good to go for this week. Ben Roethlisberger, let's talk about him. Everyone's talking about this right foot injury.
And how tough he is.
Yeah, he's going to play through it no matter what, but, you know, re-aggravating a previous foot fracture just means inflammation around the bone, basically, and so that should heal in about 4 or 5 days, so he should be good to go. And then finally, let's talk about CJ Prosise. 20% elevated injury risk, 58% below average. Fractured scapula 2 months ago. Looks like it's not healing that well. It takes about 12 to 14 weeks. So he is probably a risky start during the game.
Plus, that's a target area for the defense.
Absolutely. Ribs and scapula. I mean, that gets hit all the time. So.
All right, so that's the player medical report for today. We've got some big names on there.
Absolutely.
That we'll be watching for this weekend. Be careful if you choose to play any of those guys, even if they are playing. This is Dr. A and the player medical report, and we'll continue with football's Play to Win.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't get blindsided by the insurance company. I'm Roger Orlando, and I built a winning team to run interference against the insurance companies and get your case across the goal line. Call me at 678 Law Firm.
What does a steak lover eat when they're not eating steak? How about this, or this, or this? Okay, that last one was steak, but how could they not? You can't fake steak. Longhorn Steakhouse. Tonight's special Longhorn favorites. Get our outlaw ribeye, the Longhorn salmon, or the Parmesan crusted chicken. And for lunch, try our steakhouse burger or any steakhouse lunch combo only at Longhorn.
More people than ever are choosing Nissan, making us North America's fastest growing auto brand in 2016. Take on 2017 and get the safety you'd expect, the fuel efficiency you need, and America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take On 2017 event for 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models, or save up to $10,000 on select models.
In football, as in the legal system, it helps to know your opponent. I'm Roger Orlando, and I used to work for the insurance companies. I've seen their playbook, and I know their game plan. If you've been hurt in an auto accident, call me at 678 Law Firm.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Lease the all-new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month at Volvo Cars of Marietta.
Today's Lightning Round is brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, now featuring great American steak dinner. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
It's time for the lightning round, and that means Jeffrey's picks. How you seeing it?
15 is a lot of points, but I really don't think anything good about Houston. I think New England should cover the 15. I still question Pittsburgh's defense. I think Kansas City's going to score. I think they're going to cover the 1.5. As I said before, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, run the ball, short passes. Dallas should cover the 4.5.
All right, let's take a look at the way you see the Falcons game.
4 years ago, Falcons had a nice lead. They kicked the field goal at the end of the game. I was in a sports bar. Everybody got up clapping, but me, because they didn't win by enough. Give the 5, keep them buried. Don't sit on the ball at the end of the game.
That's it. Think of Jeffrey, is what he's saying. Think of Jeffrey when he's playing.
That 5?
Final thoughts, you guys, particularly on that game.
Hey, I say go Falcons. Go win one of these right here. That's why we do it.
I like it.
Show off.
Showing that.
I just am wondering if the Falcons DJ is going to play any future jams. There's like a big controversy around that right now.
You think he will?
I hope he does. We've been playing future all season in the Dome, so why stop now?
All right, all of you go know the games, know exactly what she's talking about. How do you see it?
And we got Jesse showing up that runners-up ring. That is
that's
the second place ring.
No, I'm represented today with my tie.
Second place
with my tie
ring.
and the ring.
We want the
NFC
first place
championship.
ring. We want the Super Bowl
I
ring.
want the Falcons to win the bigger ring.
Jeffrey.
Bob, I love you, but Denver has a coach.
Oh, damn. So we keeping off.
So Shanahan's not going to Denver.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Denver already has a coach.
Captain call out.
I hope they're following that. We've had a very clear, broad view of what's going on today. Jesse Tuggle's been with us as a special guest. It's great having you here with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Bob.
All right, man. We'll see you again soon, I hope, and we'll be back next week for Play to Win.
Today's show has been brought to you by Volvo Cars of Marietta, Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, and the Southeast Nissan Dealers.